have a little bit nice conversation with you. Yeah, that's good. Aniket, you can also.
Yes, yes. Just a second.
Guys, you can also on if you can, so that it could be a very nice conversation with us. We can see your faces.
Amol is cleaning his face. Okay, so is my screen visible to all?
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome to our Salesforce Developer Group Amravati. I welcome you all. So this is me, Amit Behere. I'm working as a Salesforce developer in Perficient. I have experience in Salesforce more than 3+ years. So I'm currently working on one of my client in Perficient. So this is me. And Aniket, can you introduce yourself? Yep.
Yeah. So hi, hello everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm Aniket. I'm currently working as a technical consultant at Perficient Nagpur, and yeah, currently volunteering the Amravati Salesforce Developer Group, and also actively participating in the Nagpur developer community also. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, Aniket. So again, I will thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Trailblazers. So thank you. So this is our social media connection. So we also started one. There is one FB page, LinkedIn page, so you can connect us on there as well. And recently on last event, we launched our Telegram channel. So if you face any difficulty, if you have any query, so you can post on their Telegram. So any developer can respond to the your query. So it will be helpful for your query as well. So yeah. So I want to thank Bhagyashree ma'am. So we are starting our session on administrator part. So we will cover our, we are going to continue maintaining series for data security, means admin series on first of all for Salesforce developer. Like we will cover admin series. After that, we will going to launch our developer series as well. So this is our first admin series on overview of data security and understanding of data modeling concept. So I welcome Bhagyashree ma'am for accepting our
Just 2 minutes,
invitation.
Amit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes. Hello.
I will just wait for 2 minutes, ma'am said.
Okay.
2 minutes, yeah. There is something network connection from my side. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So are you able to hear me now properly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah. So should we start? I'm just
Yeah.
sharing my screen.
Yep.
Okay.
Visible to me.
Yeah. Yeah. So hello guys. So today we are here from the Salesforce Developer Group Meet. So today I'm going to cover the overview of data security and understanding the data modeling concept. So basically, I am from Amravati only. I have done my engineering from Sipna College of Engineering, and then I have started my career with the Technomile Software Solution, and there I worked for 5 years. So I started with the Salesforce platform only as a fresher, and then I joined the Salesforce.com for the 2 years after the Technomile Software Solution, and then now currently I am working as a Salesforce functional consultant at ProExport Software Solution. So basically now I am in Hyderabad and I work on Sales Cloud, Service Clouds, Community Cloud, Marketing Cloud. So overall, I can say I am having 6 to 7 years of experience in Salesforce platform only. So yeah, that's it from my side. So let's cover. So today I'm going to cover about the overview of data security in Salesforce. So what are all the securities we have in the Salesforce platform, so that I'm going to explain you all. Then we'll go to understand the what is profile basically, and why we need the profile in our Salesforce, and what are those permission sets we have in Salesforce. So I think everyone is having, we had, I think this is the third I think session, right? This is the second or third, I think, right? The meeting we had. So
Third.
third, yeah. So might be everyone is having the knowledge about what is Salesforce, and then what are all those the what is the CRM basically, and what architecture is been CRM is following and all. So if you are having all the understanding about that, some basic knowledge on the Salesforce, then you can definitely going to understand the what we are going to teach today, right? So yeah, so then we will be understanding the levels of security and their purpose. So how in the Salesforce we will secure our data, and how it will be secure from our other users and all. So all those things we will be covering in the today's part. So this is the most basic part which we are just telling you on in the Salesforce. So we need to understand this is the most basic. So when we start our learning the Salesforce platform, so these are all the basic we should understand. And then is the data modeling concept in Salesforce, how we will be creating our objects, how we will be creating our fields and all. And then we will be having the overview on the types of relationships. So we have the, everyone is know about the primary keys, foreign keys, and all those things. So in the different kinds of terms, we will be using that terms in the types of relationship in Salesforce, right? So this is all the overall agenda on what we are going to cover today. So let's start. Yeah. So basically, overview of data security means what? So we have the object level security, field level security, and the record level security, right? So what this defines, I will explain. So first, we need to understand basically what are those profiles and what are the permission sets. Then we'll be covering the all the levels of security, right? So first, we'll understand the profile. So in the Salesforce, we have a profile where is the it is a collections of settings and permissions that user can do. See, so suppose we have a list of users, right, in Salesforce. Whenever you log in, whenever you create your, whenever you log in with username and password, by default we have a user created in our Salesforce, right? You, whenever you create our any developer org, we will be having to you will be having your users registered with the system administrator profile, right? So basically you are the owner, you are the what we can say it, you are all the authorized person of that particular org, so you can handle everything, right? So system administration can do that, person can do the all the access, all the fields, all the permissions, whatever the tabs, Apex classes, Visual Force, all the permissions that system administration can handle. So that is nothing but a profile for that particular user, right? So here we have a profile in Salesforce, a collection of settings and permission that define what user can do in Salesforce. So what are all those activities user can do that can be defined with the help of profile, right? So profile contains object permissions, right? So whatever, whenever we create any object, whenever we create any fields and all, that permissions can be handled with of profile, on the profile basis. If you are not having that permissions on the profile side, then you will be not able to see any of the data, any of the records in your org. So that can be handled with all the profile only for that particular user, right? So whenever you go into the Salesforce org, there could be some standard profiles in our Salesforce, right? There could be some read-only profile, standard users, marketing users, contract managers. So these are some standards profiles by default we have. So whenever you create any user, whenever you log in with your Salesforce org, then by default your profile could be a system administrator, because you are the owner, you are the admin of that particular org, and you are, that's what your profile which could be system administrator. And by default you will be having all access, whatever you can see, whatever you can create, whatever you can update, everything you can be handled with a profile with the system administrator profile. Also, you can create a custom profile. If you wanted to create a custom profile, you can create your custom profile. You can just give the access to the particular object, fields, whatever access you wanted to have. I think you are all aware about what object and what the fields we have in Salesforce, how we create the objects and how we create the fields. We can cover this part also. But as per my knowledge, everyone is learning about the everyone learn about the database concept, right? So in the database, how we will be creating a table, how we will be creating the fields, and then permissions, and then sorry, is there echo? So can you please off your video, off your mic?
Let me mute all, ma'am, and then you can unmute yourself. Just a second.
Yeah.
Okay, now you can unmute and you can start. No, ma'am, you have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, now I am able to hear. Now I am able to.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So,
Yes, yes.
just 2 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, we were on the profile part, right? Okay. So, yeah, so you were all aware about the what are the database. So basically, we in the engineering part, we will be using the database and all. So we will be creating the tables. We will be having the foreign keys, primary keys. So that is a basic concept we learn in our engineering part. So basically, here in Salesforce, it is just kind of a different we can say it. Foreign key, primary key. For that, we have a lookup relationship, master data relationship, and object nothing but tables in our Salesforce. Sorry, tables nothing but objects in our Salesforce, right? So this is the basic profile overview, I can say it in Salesforce, how the users can have. So next is we can use to cover this permission sets. So permission set is a collection of settings and permissions that give users access to various tools and functions, right? So we have a profile. So there are number of users, and the profile, and one profile is assigned to the all the users. Suppose there are 2-3 users which want an extra access other than the profile. So on the profile they have access, but they want some other access, right? So in that case, we have a concept like permission set, where we can assign, where we can create that permission set and assign that permissions, and then permission set we can assign to the particular user who want that particular extra permissions. So permission sets is similar to the profiles only. So what all we can see on the profile, that we can have the access with the permission sets also, right? So basically, a permission set is a collection of settings and permissions that give users access to various tools and functions, right? So in the profile, I have said that we have object permissions, field permissions, classes permissions, everything. So that all we can cover with the help of these permission sets, right? So permission set make it easy to grant access to the various apps and customs objects in our org, and to take away access when it's no longer needed. Suppose there are 3-4 users on same profile. So if I change anything on if anything on the profile side, then that profile will get affect to all the users. Why? Because that all the users are on the same profile, right? So that's what, if anything I have removed from that particular profile, it will get affect to the all the users, because there are A, B, C users are there and they are on the same profile. So if anything we have done changes on the profile set, it will get affect to the all the three users also. So in the last line, you can see that users can have only one profile, but they can have multiple permission sets. So this statement defines that users will have only one profile, but if they wanted to have extra permissions, so they can have the multiple permission sets. So suppose I am the users, I want some extra permissions, I can say I want this custom permission for the object, account object, custom then case object. So there are so many objects for that particular I want permissions. Then I can create a permission set and I can assign those all permission into that permission set, and then I can have that permission set assigned to me only. So instead of changing the on the profile set, we can create permission set and we can assign that permission set to a particular user. So yeah, are you getting what I am saying, guys? I want responses from you. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you have any query, anything you wanted to ask me, you can just ask me, right? Because this is the some basic parts we need to understand. So next we will be understanding the what are the level of data access in Salesforce. So basically I this is all comes under the security part. So we have the data security is the most, how you secure your data. So this is the most important part. So in this image you can see there is a one user, right, on the left hand side, and there is a objects, there are the fields, and there are the record level security and object level security and field level security. Okay, so this on this panel you can see that what objects can a user see, right? So what objects can user see, this is comes under the object level security. This comes under the object record security. Candidate, positions, and offer. These are all the objects which we have created in our Salesforce org. So this is nothing but the object level security. Why we call it an object level security? Because we will be having this object permission as a read, create, edit. So we will be assigning these permissions on particular user. So that's what it's called as an object level security. So what objects can a user see? That will be depend upon the object level security, that is called as an object permission. So next is what fields on those object users can see, right? So this is the candidate object, and then I have created some fields on this candidate object. This is the first name, last name, and the phone name. So here we have this first name and last name as a read access. These are all the visible to it, and this red mark is showing as no access, means I have not given this access for that particular for that on that particular object for the particular user. So this comes under the field level security. So these two fields are visible to the users, and this home phone is not visible to the users. So this all will covers under the field level security. What fields those objects can a user see, that comes under the field level security. And then next is the record level security. Record is names only identify that whenever I have an object, whenever I have fields, I will go and I will create some records, right? Suppose I will go for a particular object and I will create a record as the first name as Bhagyashree, last name as the Khanapuri, and then phone number and all. That could be called as a record in Salesforce, right? So what record can user see and what record can user not see, that can be handled with the help of record level security. Okay. So this third point defines which record should be hidden by default, what exceptions should we make, right? So in the record level security, the restrictions will come first, right? So will whatever the restrictions you are giving to baseline security, if you are wanted to define, then you can define with the help of org level security. This is org wide default, right? So org wide default means what? Whenever you have any object that is candidate object, you can define that candidate object in the org wide setting as a private or a read only or a public read write, or we can say public read write, private public read only, or public read write access. So these are access we can define on the OWD side for that particular candidate, right? So if you define this permission, it is for the whole org we can define the permissions, right? So if there are number of profiles also, if there are number of users also, it will be affect to whole the org, right? It will affect to whole org. It will not specific to the particular profile or not specific to the particular specific users only. It will affect to the whole org. So that's why it's defined as org wide default, right? So the next is here, what exception should we make, right? So suppose I have defined any object as a private. So suppose I am in the users and I have created the record for that particular object. Suppose I have created a record for a candidate object. So I am the owner and my OWD is a private. So that time I will be able to see that particular record. Any other one, any other user, suppose there are users Aniket, Amit and all, they will not able to see the particular record, because I have created that record and the OWD is been set as a private. So that's what I am the owner and I will only access that particular record, right? So this will be set for everyone. Suppose Amit will go, he will create a record for the particular candidate object, then only the record which was created by the Amit, he will be able to see only particular that record. If Aniket login, if Aniket will create a record for the particular candidate object, then he will be only able to see that particular record. So we can't see any other's record. So this can be defined by org wide default. Suppose we have a same profile also, then also we will be not able to see, because we have defined this org wide default for the whole org, that is for candidate object on the user side, right? So if I wanted to, I can say it, if you wanted to give them access to the particular user for to Amit, so that Amit can access my records or Aniket can access my records. So I will be using some concepts like role hierarchy, sharing rules, and manual sharing. This all the terms defines that sharing and access, right? So whatever the records we have, we are just sharing with the other users. That is for role hierarchy, sharing rules, and manual sharing. Okay, so this is some basic baseline structure. I can say it. So now we will be more understanding what are org by default and what is how the role hierarchy will work, and how sharing rules will work, and how the manual sharing will work. Okay. So this is how we call. So this is object level security, field level security, and record level security. In the object level security, only object will come. Field level security, only field will come. And in the record level security, these all will come. This is org by defaults, then role hierarchy, sharing rules, and manual sharing. Okay. Okay. So next is locking down the data for the record access. So why I am calling as a locking down? We will restrict the baseline access first. We will restrict the baseline access, and then if the user wanted to have the particular access, then we will go on giving that particular access for the particular object or particular users, right? So here you can see this is organization wide sharing defaults edit, right? So here I have a list of all the standard objects and all the custom objects. You can be able to see here, right? These are all the objects we can see. So for lead object, we have public read write transfer. So this is the some standards default access for a particular object, we can say it. So lead will have a transfer, case will have a transfer. Means suppose if you create any record and we wanted to change the owner, so directly you can change the, if you have this kind of permission as a read write public read write transfer, that means you can change the owner. Means I am the owner for that particular case or particular lead, then if I wanted to change that to the Amit or Aniket, then we can directly change it to this lead for that this transfer. Means we can transfer your ownership to the other user, right? So these are all some standards we have. Here you can see the public full access. This is for the campaign only. Then we have we can have this employment website is one of the custom object. Here you can see the public read only as a private and public read write. So I will define what does this terms means. Okay, private means what? Basically I have created the records and I am the owner of that record, so I can only view that particular record. No one will from the another users or any of the users will not able to view that particular record. So that's what that means, a private. Only the owner can view that particular record. The next is a public read only. So if I make my object public read only, then it will be visible to all. It will be visible to all the users who are in the particular org. So suppose I am there, Amit and Aniket and all your users are there, all you are there in the particular Salesforce org, then you will be able to see the records created in the employment website because you have a public read-only permission, right? So you will be able to see the records, but you will be not able to edit that particular record because I have set as a org by default as a public read only. So whenever it's set as a public read only, it will be able to only view the records. It will not able to edit. It will not give permission to edit, or it will not give permission to write anything on that. It will not. It will just able to see. Okay. And the next is the public read writes. This word only defined that you can edit the record, you can delete the record, whatever the access you can do with the help of public read write only. Okay, so this is all the basic we can define on the org side. Suppose I have these all objects. Employment website is the one of my object, and I have set as a public read write over for the particular object. Okay, on the org wide, this is all on the org wide, right? I'm saying that guys don't get confused. This is all on the org side. We are defining the settings. When it comes to profile, right? Because user will have a profile, that is definite. Without a profile, user will not do anything. If I am having an understand this scenario, if I am having an employment website on that particular, I am having as a public read, right? And on the profile I am not having any permissions. Suppose for the employment website I am not having permission as a read, I am not having permission as a write, then that user will not able to see anything unless and until that user will have a public read write permission. Then also the user will not able to see anything in the org, because on the profile side we need to have a permission if we wanted to see the any of the object records. So this is the main difference what I am going to tell you, right? Are you getting?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes,
So yeah, so this all access we need to understand. Suppose I am saying as a private also, and if I'm not having any permission from the profile side, then you will be not able to see any of the record. At least you should have a read permission, then only you will be able to see yours record. Otherwise you will not able to see yours record also. So first profile we need to understand basically is that whatever the access, whatever the field, whatever the object, that need to understand with the help of profile only. So whatever the permissions you have on profile, that will define what you can see, and this is nothing but the org wide default, right? So see, it is the baseline level of access to data records of all the users in your organization, and specify which records can be accessed by which users and on which mode. So this is the basic understanding. Now there are 4 levels of access that I have just shown you: private, public read only, and public read write, and public read write transfers. So these are all access we can define for the objects, right? So this is nothing but the giving a restrict baseline access to the particular object. Now I have given a private permission. Now we will understand the how role hierarchy will get in concept. About the role hierarchy concept, this is opening the record access. First I have this locking down the record access. Now I am the opening my record access. Now I am giving some basic permission. Now I am just opening my permissions, that with the help of role hierarchy, right? This is nothing but the record level security. In the first diagram you have seen that what are all the record level security, that is org wide default, sharing rules, manual sharings, and role hierarchy, right? So here in the diagram you can see that there is a evil, and then under this evil we have them Scott evil, Minimi, Fatb. These are all the users under the evil, right? So first we understand what is role hierarchy. A role hierarchy works together with sharing setting to determine the levels of access user have to your Salesforce data. So with the help of role hierarchy, we can define what all these users can see and what these managers can see. We can define with the help of role hierarchy. Okay. Suppose I have set a private permission, and then I have set this kind of role hierarchy, right? So this user will have this evil can access the data for Scott, Minimi, and Fatb, right? These all or access can be have this for this particular evil, because I have set the role hierarchy. And also on the object, we have this grant access using hierarchy checkbox. If this checkbox is not checked, then this will not able to see the whatever the Scott is recorded the records created by Scott, records created by this user, record created by FATB. This will not able to see by Evil, because Evil is the manager. So if this permission is there on the grant access. So grant access using hierarchies means, for the standard object, we will be having by default this setting as checkbox, as check only. And for the custom object, we have an ability to uncheck it or check it, right? For a standard object, it is compulsory, so by default in the Salesforce org, it is check only. So if it is check, then only that Evil can see this all data for the row hierarchy. So this kind of hierarchy we need to set first, right? Suppose I have set the manager, I have set I have set the Evil as a manager, and then I have said this is sales user 1, sales user 2, and sales user 2 as a profile. Then this user will be able to see the particular data, otherwise not, right? And then this user will having this kind of all the users under this. So this user will see all the data of remaining whatever the records are created by the child one. What the role hierarchies are down. So these are roles under which the users can see this data. That's many. So this can be done with the help of this row grant access using hierarchy checkbox. So if it is checked, then you will be able to access the record. So user who need to see a lot of data appear near at the top at the hierarchy. So if we wanted to see the all the data whatever been accessed, you can see at the top of the hierarchy in our org. Then each role in the hierarchy just represent a level of data access that a user or a group of user needs. So particular what access user will have can be defined with the help of role hierarchy, right? So this is the hierarchy we can define, and with the help of that, if my OWT is a private also, then also this if we set this kind of hierarchy, then also the user will be able to see the others data. Suppose I am the manager and here are my all the users, then I can see my OWT is a private also, and if I set this kind of hierarchy, then the user will be able to access the record. I will be able to see this below whatever the records are created by these users. I will be able to see. This is basic you can have the access. So next
Hello,
is the sharing rule.
Bhagyashree.
Yeah.
Your voice is
That-
lagging actually.
Yeah, really. Amit, Aniket, are you able to hear me properly?
Yeah, now it's clear in
Now it's
between.
clear,
Yeah.
but for some couple of seconds it breaks. I think it's a network fluctuation.
Yeah. So guys, yeah, tell me, yeah. So now it's clear, right?
Yes,
Yes.
it is clear.
Okay. So next is the opening record access sharing rule. So see, this opening record access for role hierarchy, locking down is nothing but only the org by default where we lock our access. Then next is the sharing opening the record access role hierarchy. It is also nothing but the sharing the records. Then next is the opening the record access, nothing but the sharing rules. This is also the part of sharing. This is also the part of share our records, right? So here you can see the number of users are there, and these users are wanted to share the records to some of the other users. So we can do with the help of sharing rules. So we'll understand what is sharing rules basically. Sharing rules can be based on who owns the record or on the values of fields in the record. So I have told that who had created the record, that user will be the ownership of owner of that particular record. Extends access beyond the baseline level. So baseline level, what we restrict, that is OWD. It is used for restrictions. The baseline access we can give it. What can extend the baseline access? That is sharing rules. Sharing rules will be used to extend the baseline access. Share records owned by a role group with another roles or a group, right? Here I can just give an example, right? This is here we have for opportunities and case access only. But suppose I wanted to share my record with any other different users, so I can write one sharing rule and I can define the what are suppose the conditions. Suppose I can say on the case object, if the status is low or status is medium, then only I wanted to share this particular record to the particular group of users or a single user or a profile or a group of users or a roles or subordinates. Then I can define a sharing rule to share my records. right? This is a rule. So whenever we record, whenever we create, going on create a record, and whenever it find a status as a low, it will automatically share the records, because on the back end we have written some sharing rules to share that particular record, right? So this can be do with the help of sharing rules. So we have a row hierarchy, but we have a sharing rules also. So this is the automation part where we can write a sharing rule, and it will goes on sharing our record to the particular group of users. So if you define that, we can create a group also, where all who are the silver partners or who are the platinum partners, you can create those kind of groups, and we can assign that in that particular group we can assign the number of users who works under the silver course and who works under the platinum course, and then we can assign that particular group into the particular on which case you wanted to share. So suppose I say that case status is low, I wanted to share this record with the silver partners. Suppose I write a different sharing rules. If my case status is high, I wanted to share with the platinum group. So this can be done with the help of sharing rule, right? Instead of going it manually, or instead of going with a different approach, whenever the case records is going on creating, then you can directly will in the background this sharing rule will work, and it will go on sharing our records. So this is the automation part. If you comes under the manual sharing, then this is the manual sharing, nothing but the button, that manual share button will be visible to the user on the record side. So instead of writing a manual sharing, suppose I am saying that I wanted to just share this record, so just click on share button, and you will be able to share this particular record to the any of the users to which you wanted to see. Here is the some of the, I think here also this is whenever I click a sharing button, you can just click the what are the roles and what are all the subordinates or what are the profile you wanted to share, and you need to just share with these guys, and what are access you wanted to give, you can just give it. I think this is one of the standard one, but if you go under the custom object on the sharing button, then you will be seeing some different view, right? So when we go on sharing the record, when your OWD is a private, when your OWD is a public read write, then only sharing will come into picture, right? If my OWD is a public read write, then why I need a sharing, right? Because it public read write defines that you can have all the access to our users and all the access to our records. So no need of sharing, no need of manual sharing, no need of row hierarchy, right? This will not comes in picture. Whenever your OWD is set as a private or a public read only, then only your sharing will come into picture. Otherwise, it will not come in picture, because public read writes only defines you have all the access to your particular org, whether it could be object, whether it could be anything records you are getting. So why we need a sharing concept, right? So whenever you define some strict line access in the OWD, then only this will come into picture. So in the manual sharing, records are shared individually with other users by using the share button on the record. So that I told you. Manual sharing allows the user to share the record to user who could not have access to the record. So those who are not having an access to the record, that users can share the record. Record owner, a user in the role above the owner in the role hierarchy, user granted full access to the record, administrator can share the record. So suppose I am the owner of that particular record and I am having the full access, then I can share that particular record to the other users which I wanted to share. So these are all the basic concept which we have. So where I define the strict line access, where I define the private, then the row hierarchy, then the sharing rules, then the manual sharing will come into picture. Otherwise, it will not come into picture, right? So if you define some strict line access, then only it will come that sharing rules, manual sharing, and row hierarchy. So any difficulties till now, or we can move forward, guys? If you have any question regarding this, you can just let me know.
Ma'am,
Hmm?
in OWD for a particular object,
Hmm?
if I want to give access for some fields for few
No.
users, and if I want to restrict access for few users.
Yeah, no, fields you can't be restrict with the help of OWD. In the OWD, we can restrict only object. in OWD, we can restrict only object access. We can't do the field level, whatever the fields we have, we can't restrict on this. We want to cover into the field level security, right? This is the field level security. So in the fields on the particular object, we need to go and select the particular fields for which field you wanted to see or which field you wanted to hide. So that can be done in the field level security. This is the different. This is on the record level security, which is org wide default. In this you can set only the OWD for the particular object. It is private, public read write, and public read only.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
want to restrict the some records for few users and give access to few records for other users. Then what will be the setting for that object?
Yeah, so suppose if you have the users list of users, right? So you wanted to have some of the users have this kind of access, some of the users can this kind of access, then you can have the profile and permission set concept over here. You can implement.
Okay.
Yeah, because your query is there are 2-3 users, and for that user you have this permission, and for the remaining user you don't want that permissions, right? So you can have the permission set concept over there. You can
And here
implement.
I should give private for the default access in OWD.
Yeah. You can give a private if you wanted to show, or if you don't want to show, then you can give it a private or a public read only or public read write. What are the baseline you wanted to give, you can give. But if you wanted to deal with the records only, then you can give the private or public read only or public read write. Because
Okay.
this is the records you wanted to show your users or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other question, guys?
Yes, I have one question, Bhagyashree.
Tell me.
Yes, so my question is like, can I give access? Can I give access to some users to some fields if they do not have access to certain objects? Like, for example, the candidate object. If the user doesn't have access to the candidate object, can he or she still access to the candidate's fields?
No, because if you are not having an access to the object, then how that user will get an access for a particular field? It will not possible.
Okay, and if we apply like some permission sets, or if we change the OWD settings, we can do that.
No, guys, because object is the basic, right? If you are not able to give the object permission only, and then how you will be going to the particular object if you are not having any permission to check that object. Will not able, because object is under the first is object, and inside the object you have their fields, right? So how you will directly access the field? It will not possible, right? If you have the permission also, it will not possible, because inside the object only, when you click on the record, you can see first object and then you can go into the fields, right? So this is not possible.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So should we move forward?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what are the objects in Salesforce? So can anyone tell me what are the standard and custom objects? I think what are all those standard objects in Salesforce? Can anyone tell me, other than this object, account, contact, lead, and opportunity, any of the standard object in Salesforce? What are the standard objects? Yeah, it's wrong
User
only. Just you can tell me.
User also standard object.
Yeah. Any other?
Cases.
So whenever, yeah, cases, correct. I have shown you one image, right? In OWD, you will be getting some extra permissions, right? Transfer permissions and all. What are those objects you get it? Standard objects. Okay, yeah. So so everyone is having the understanding about the little bit understanding on standard on custom objects. So what are all those standard objects by default in Salesforce and what are all those custom objects in Salesforce. So standard objects are nothing but the account, contact, lead, opportunity, case, activity, then campaign, then solutions, then products, product line item. So there are so many objects, we can say that as a standard objects, right, in Salesforce. And in the standard objects, we can create some automatics. We have in the standard objects, we have some standard fields also. And if you wanted to create some custom fields in the standard object, then we can have that custom fields also, right? So if you wanted to customize your standard object, then we can customize according to our requirements. So that can be done with the help of creating some custom fields in our standard object. Suppose this is the object. So there are two types of objects we have. There is standard objects and this is custom object. So standard objects are built in CRM. In the built-in CRM, we have those kind of objects that is called as a standard object, and custom, which are defined by a developer or which we have created as per our requirement, that is nothing but the custom objects. So fields are the fields in which we have some standards also and some customs also. So whenever you create any custom object also, there also we have some standard fields like owner, then ID, then created by, last modified by. These are all some standard fields are by default we have whenever, sorry.
Name
Yeah.
also standard field.
Name, yeah, correct. So these are all the standard fields we have in our custom object. So we have some standards which automatically created, and we can create some customs also that is defined by developer whenever as per our requirement. So these are the basic concept. What are the types of objects, and what are the fields we have created. So yeah, so anything need to explain more over here, or are we good? Okay, so let's understand what are the standards and what are the custom fields. So here, identity, a 15 character case sensitive field that is automatically generated for every record. You can find a record ID in its URL. So this is the account ID. It looks like 0015. This is the account ID. So this is some standard field. Whenever you created any of the custom object, this is the standard field by default we'll have over here. Then next is the system field, which I told you, read-only fields that provide information about the record from the system, like when the record was created or when it was changed. So these are all the standard fields. Whenever you create any custom object, you will be having the standard field. This is created date, last modified by ID, last modified date. These are all some standard. I can say standard fields. Now next is the name. This is name is also one standard field also. It have the data type as a name or auto number. So if you wanted to make it auto number like this, CA-1024, you can make it like this also, or you can make it as name as can be Julie Ben. So these are two formats you can define in the name as a standard field, that is a name object name. In that field you can define as an auto number also, simply name also. So this automatic the name. And then next is a custom objects. In a custom object, you can create your all kind of custom fields which you wanted to create. It could be a pick list, it could be a data type, date, or character, integer, text area. So what are all those the data types we have in Salesforce? So that kind of fields you can create it with the help of that particular fields that is called as a custom fields in Salesforce. Next is the types of relationship in Salesforce. So basically we have 4 types of relationship, that is lookup relationship, parent-child relationship, many-to-many relationship, and self relationship. So here relationships will come into picture when parent to child we have wanted to make a relationship. So lookup relationship, master data relationship, self relationship, and managed relationship. So this will be cover how it will work. So these are all the basic 4. This is the basic 4. We have more also, but these are the most basic those kind of relationships. So let's understand. So what is lookup relationship basically? So lookup relationship in this object, both objects are closely coupled, which means that if ones get deleted, then the related object will not get deleted. Suppose there is an object A and object B. So object A is related to the object B as a lookup relationship. So whenever I have delete a object A record, then object B record will not get deleted because they are loosely coupled with each other. So when a parent records get deleted, the child remains in existence, or the child record will not be deleted. Then we cannot create some roll-up summary fields. So we have some kind of fields we can, standard fields we can create. We have a roll-up summary fields, and we have
It is
some kind of,
empty records is there
sorry,
in lookup relationship. We can't delete child records in relationship, but it is
Yeah.
empty.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So parent and child records have their own sharing and security setting in lookup relationship. So in the OWT you can see it. So whenever I have created a parent object, or whenever I have a child object, so on the child object you can set their own security setting. Means on the child object, on a B object you can set the private, public, read write, public, read only. So whatever those access you can set it, you can manually go and you can set that. So with the parent and child have their own sharing security concepts. Lookup relationship field is not mandatory by default, but if you can select a checkbox to make it mandatory. I think this is in the Lightning we can do it. So if you wanted to make it mandatory, means suppose if I deleted the parent record, then the child will not get deleted. That can be implemented with in the lookup relationship, because we can make this mandatory, right? So, and we can have 40 lookups per object. Means we can create on one particular object, we can have the 40 lookup relationship we can create it to the others objects. So these are the basic of the lookup relationship. So when you go on implement this relationship, then only you will be understanding. Otherwise, it will be difficult to understand now in this state, because anyway the definition defines that this will be loosely coupled and all those things and all. But when we go on implement it, then only it will be means pretty clear to understand actually. Next is the master data relationship. So I can explain. Where is the? So we can understand by this comparison actually basically. So in the lookup relationship, that is loosely coupled, and in the master relationship, that is tightly coupled. Means whenever you delete the master object, the child object will also delete it. Sorry, I didn't get.
40 होता है.
लुकअप में कम से कम 38 तो आना चाहिए.
Sorry, guys. Hello.
Hello, do we have any question or should we proceed?
You can post on chat window also. That is.
Yeah. Just post your question on chat. We
Yeah.
can refer from there.
Because yeah, it will get means you can ask after this session. You can just ask the questions. Okay. So now we have the cascade delete functionality in here, and then ownership is dependent and inherited from the parent. Means whenever you create a master data relationship, we have what I'm saying, we have that inheritance means control by parent, that option we have in OWT. So whatever the master is having an access, that can be accessed with the child records. And then the relationship, maximum relationship per object 25 and 2. And then roll-up summary, I think this is the old image that was 25, but now I think it's increases, right? Roll-up summary in parent supported. Whenever you create a lookup relationship, will not having a roll-up summary field, but in master detail we can create a roll-up summary fields, right? You can have the roll-up summary fields created when you create a master detail relationship. Multi-layers means in the relationship we can have the multiple objects relationship, means lookup to relationship in a layer of format 3. I think 3 to 5 we can create in the lookup relationship. And in a master relationship, yes, depend the number on the object is a standard or custom. So in the master data relationship, suppose I am making the standard object as a master object, child and custom object as a master object, then it will depend upon the standard or the custom object you are creating the relationship, right? So these are all the basic. We'll go into back also. Yeah. So here I can say we can also roll up summary field in a master relationship, which help us to calculate the values from child records by using some functions like count, sum, minimum, and maximum. This is roller summary field is a custom field we can create for object. Whenever we have a master reader relationship, and this field we can create this field on the master object only, right? Because this field will calculate all the child records by using some of the functions like count, sum, and minimum and maximum. Suppose I wanted some of the count of my child records on the master object, then I can create this field on the master side to get my count on the whatever the number of counts I have for the child record. I can get it on my master side. So this can be created with the help of roller summary field. We can create a maximum 2 master relationship per object. In a master relationship, both objects are strongly coupled to each other. Means that is we can say tightly coupled. Means if one master object is deleted, the child will also get deleted child record. So that is nothing but strongly tightly bound with each other. So we have a many-to-many relationship also. So many-to-many relationship is nothing but the junction object, we can say it. So here in the image you can see this is the master object 1, this is the master object 2, and this 2 object is related with this master customer account. Means in this customer account I am having this account ID also, I am having this customer ID also. So this object will called as a junction object. And the junction object will not visible in the OWD because this all the permissions are getting access with this in the junction object. So that's why the whatever the access security settings which we define for the master object 1, that only will be getting for the junction object. So that's what junction object will not visible in the OWD. In many-to-many relationship, records of particular objects are linked to multiple records of different object and vice versa. Here you can see this, right? This diagram will define the junction object scenario, many-to-many relationship. This will have this, sorry. And then this account will have the master records, customer records. Here we have many-to-many relationship with this customer account. So account ID will be having here and customer ID will be having here. So these 2 object is related with junction object that is called as a customer account. There is no such field as a many-to-many relationship. Suppose we have a master reader relationship, means we can go into the fields and we can just select the master reader relationship and we can create this. But there is no such many-to-many relationship in Salesforce. We can whenever you create a many-to-many relationship, it is by default called as a junction object in Salesforce. So that was it mentioned. There is no such field as a many-to-many relationship in Salesforce. We can create a many-to-many relationship by creating a 2 master relationship with a common object. This common object is called as a junction object that defines. Self relationship is nothing but the whenever you create a self relationship within this object only. Suppose this account will create a self relationship, that is a lookup relationship with this account only, then it is called as a self relationship. So here is an example that account object has a field called parent account which shows the self relationship in account. So whenever there is self relationship, we can say it whenever there is a relationship between self only, that is nothing but a self relationship in a particular object. So we can relate an object with itself by a lookup. So it's nothing but so we have an example like account object where we have a parent account. We show it is the self relationship in account. This is comparison. I think this is repeated. I think yeah. So here we have a comparison. I think the self relationship is repeated. So guys, did you have any question? Let me know. Hello.
What are the difference between 15 digits ID and 18 digits ID?
Yeah. So basically, whenever we go for the reporting purposes and all, that time we need this 15 digit or 18 digit ID. Basically. So whenever you go for the record, you will be finding the 15 digit or I think 15 or 18, right, Amit? When we go for a particular record.
18 digit.
18.
Yeah, 18 digit we can see it. And first 3 digit will be defined the particular object. So this will define the particular object ID, we can say it. Suppose means now account we have case we have, it will define the first 3 digit as a, this is defined for account object, this is defined for the case object, this is defined for the contact object. The first 3 digit will define the some object it will define.
It will see in coding part in 18-digit ID.
Sorry, I didn't get a question. Can you just repeat it?
It will see 18-digit ID in coding part.
Coding part.
Coding side.
Means you want to fetch that ID in Apex and debug it, right?
Okay.
Hello.
What's your good name? You can just tell, then we can answer you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Hello. Hello, what's your good name?
Yeah, Mahesh.
Yeah, you can talk, right?
Yeah, some network issues.
Yeah.
In development part, 18-digit ID is there. You can see.
Means you whenever you that Amit said, right? Amit, what he is asking, I'm not getting actually basically.
So he want to say like, do we get the ID in Apex code? Like we can
Yeah.
fetch that ID in Apex code or not? So yes, we can fetch that 18-digit ID in Apex code as well. And there is one release in last to last release. In some of the things we required 15-digit ID as well. So in last release they release one function that will convert 18-digit ID to the 15-digit ID as well. So you can have both type of ID of 15-digit and 18-digit in Apex code and use according to your requirement in Apex.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Do we have any more questions?
Yeah, I think in chat window, someone is asking related to say self relationship.
Ma'am, can we convert MDR into lookup relationship?
Yeah, we can convert, but there are some predefined conditions that we need to go with, follow that. We need to there are some prerequisites, we can say it, whenever we go on converting master detail to lookup relationship. So that we need to follow, then only we'll be able to convert it. Otherwise we'll be not, because in master detail we need a required field on the child, right? But in the lookup we'll not have that. So first we need to make it all the required, then only we'll be able to convert it. Otherwise it will not able to convert. So there are some prerequisites so that we need to follow.
Okay.
So can we start some little quiz, Mamit? Hello.
Aniket, hello. Yes,
Yeah.
am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah. So actually, our work also on priority, so we cancel
Yeah,
today's
due to some
quiz.
actually priority work, I'm not
Yeah.
able to
Yeah.
do the quiz.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So let me ask 2-3 question if they have understand or not whatever I have explained. So little bit 2-3 question anyone can just answer. What are the levels of security we have in Salesforce?
4 levels of security:
Huh?
OWD, object level, field level, and record level.
Okay. So OWD is a record level or object level or field level?
Record level.
Yeah, good. And what are the types of relationship in Salesforce?
Lookup relationship, master detail relationship, self relationship,
One to
and
many.
Yeah, many to many
Parallel.
many to
relationship.
many relationship.
Okay. And what are the two types of objects in Salesforce?
Standard
Standard objects and custom objects.
Custom objects, yeah. Correct. And what are those standard fields by default we have whenever we create any of the custom object?
Identity created
Name
by
last modified by
created by owner.
owner.
Created by.
Name last modified.
Hmm. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's it from my side.
Yes.
So yeah, thanks for joining everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amit and Aniket, for giving me an opportunity to share my knowledge on this.
Yeah. Welcome.
Yeah,
And
thanks.
Thank you.
yeah, thank you for
Thank you.
accepting our
Bye.
invitation.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, in busy schedule. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
good
Bye,
then.
everyone. Yeah.
Thank you, Bhageshri ma'am.
Yeah. Thank